Boom. It's on.
It's on.
It's on. And so, Peds, what's on your head?
So I feel like obviously the world is at a place where it's never been before. Obviously in our lifetimes, we're millennials, so young generation, but also even our parents and grandparents' lifetimes. Like we've never seen a pause like this where the whole world is kind of shut down or whatever, but at the standstill that it is. And so I think there's a lot of things happening here, both in the physical and the higher dimension, like the spiritual side of things and everything too. Obviously with all that being the basis of the virus that has gone and passed around, which is a whole other subject we could dive into, but simply put with that one, like to make my thoughts the most simple on it. And before we even go further into this, I just want to say everything that we say in this video too is just the thoughts and opinions of us. So take everything with a grain of salt,
Please. Please.
Just take everything with a grain of salt, and if something grabs your interest or whatever, do your own research. The collective consciousness of humanity is smarter with each of us together. So if we can all throw together some breadcrumbs and everything, eventually we can have a whole loaf of bread. So don't take everything we say as fact or whatever, but
just form your own opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Be open. I should say be open-minded to everything we say too, because the truth, or at least what we perceive as truth, is the rabbit hole goes really deep. the rabbit hole goes really deep.
Oh my God.
And it's just, I don't know, it can be...
Let's just be open-minded.
Yeah.
Let's just be open-minded to it.
Be open to the possibility that everything you know is wrong, or that you don't.
Yeah.
The only thing you know is that you don't know.
Right. So with that, COVID-19. More of a fear program than anything I've really ever seen. I haven't seen anyone really go crazy with it. Now granted, I'm not in the places where it is full-fledged. I'm not in the hospitals pretty much, but holy cow, I've seen people act crazy. I've seen regulars that I've known forever come up to me and just show me these conspiracy theories that some make sense, but these ones don't make any sense. It's like National Guard is gonna come attack us type things, and they're just being ruthless mean. I have the same conversation every single day with everyone, and everyone's just consistently being programmed into this scared little child. It's just pulling that out of them. Much more being home all the time. It's interesting how people fall apart with that.
Absolutely. You realize some people are so dependent on... What the hell? Some people are so hopelessly dependent on the system that they don't know what to do without it. Because the system's been in play for so long.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
The system's been in play for so long, and they're so acquired to being a part of the machine that it's at a pause and a stop, and they're like, wait, who am I? What do I do? Do I have hobbies? Do I have things I enjoy? Am I an actual human? For me, it sucks not being able to work as much. I'm very passionate about what I do with the coaching side of things, but if I want, I don't set an alarm on certain days unless I really want to get up early. I can go box in my driveway. I can read the books I want to read, or watch a couple. Cause I hardly ever watch TV between jobs and what I'm doing in my own life and everything. I just don't. It's not really a priority for me unless I'm powering through some Naruto episodes. Occasionally, but but even to come down to an end of what I feel like is a productive day for me, studying some training things and getting a good home style training session in and stuff like that. And then if I want to watch a 2-hour movie or something that I've been wanting to watch, I don't feel bad about it because the world is on pause right now and I can do that.
And you're finally able to do all the things that you want to do, which is odd because all these people, when everything was normal, it's, I'm tired, I'm just going to work, I just want to do this and that, and the second they get the time for it, it's like they fall apart. So it's what do you want? It just sounds like you're unhappy with yourself. They can't take care of themselves.
And at the same time, I think it's very valuable, and those people might not see it at first, but it's kind of forcing them into a corner where it's
you got it fixed.
Yeah,
you gotta fix
you gotta
it.
fix. Yeah,
fix it.
it's like you know, you can when your higher self is when your ego self, so like the physical, you know, the 3D, the Ryan or the JC is out of alignment with the higher self will make it so uncomfortable to a point where you like have to be forced back into alignment with it, because you're at a point of so much discomfort and everything. It's like something's got to change. And I think on more of a global scale, we're kind of at that too, because it's people have been out of whack or like stuck in the system or whatever for so long that now we're kind of being forced to break the programming and figure out who we are as not just like in the 3D and the Matrix, but ascending into the 5D world that we're shifting into and everything too.
It's very true that what they've been calling it the Planetary Ascension is kind of people just more realigning with themselves. Mm-hmm. I know when I think Planetary Ascension, I'd like to think, I don't know, the sky breaks and like UFOs come down and like spirits are all helping us and all that. But
totally possible.
Yeah, I know, right? But in reality, it's really people just aligning with their true values, their true nature. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of us, if you go to work all the time, you kind of forget that you're a human being. You're just chasing money to chase the food, to chase the job, to chase the money, to chase the food, and you get put in that cycle. You're just a number, you're just a whatever. But coming back to themselves, I'm hoping by the end of this, people quit their jobs, people chase what they want to do, people are happy with less. Mm-hmm. You really don't need that much.
And with that, the question for me too comes on, like, how is money going to change? Because I think money still serves a purpose, and I don't, like they say money is the root of all evil. I don't inherently agree with that. Like, if you're a good person, I think more money will allow you to do better things as a good person. Obviously, it can change some people. You might act differently if you had more or less or whatever. But
it's just a tool.
Exactly, it's a tool like anything else. You know, a hammer can be used to build things. It can be used to like bash someone's head.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, what are you gonna do with that tool? You know. But the Federal Reserve, which is, for people that don't know, is not even federal, is a private banking system, was, to my understanding, absorbed into the U.S. Treasury too, which is something that's like never happened before too. So the Federal Reserve is, I don't know depths about that stuff. The political side of things stresses me out if I look too much into it, because there's just so much going on. I just try to focus on like myself first, and then like my loved ones, and it kind of branches out from there. But I don't think the monetary system is going to be the same as it was before. We're going to see a lot of changes there.
Plus the social culture. This is going to be the Wuhan, where this started. They reopened restaurants. Still no one's going.
Really?
They're all still scared.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, see, then we talk about fear programming and everything with the virus and all that. So how many people are going to be permanently stuck in that? Like, I saw a picture on one of my favorite Instagram accounts, 5D Awakening Consciousness, if you want to check it out. Great content. Basically have one Earth, and then it starts splitting until it's fully out into two. And on this side we have like fear-based programming. On this one, love-based, where it's, you know, how many people are going to continue to be in fear or wear a mask that is not even going to stop an airborne virus.
Literally.
If you're really going to get something, it's going to go right through that damn mask. But as opposed to ascending to a choice of love, I mean, like, even making this video right now, we're trying to express some opinions and just get people to think more and everything too, you know, gearing towards the side of love. Like, I think the concept of polarity exists in everything. Like, so I got the yin and yang added on my wrist here. For me, those two choices are fear and love all the time. And now the world is kind of split at a paradigm where I think we're very much so. I think we're ascending towards the love side, or at least that's what I'm choosing to align with out of this. I think the fear side still exists. You can't have one without the other, you know, but I think the planet is going to kind of split like that too.
I'm grateful for the people, because you're moving towards love, I'm moving towards love, my family's moving towards love. I feel grateful that the people around me are all moving towards that. They're all realizing that we're just kind of in the eye of the storm, and every person that becomes scared, what you're doing is you're moving from safety and you're moving into the chaos consciously. What you don't realize is you can step right back in. It's all a little mental place, because the second your own mind turns against you with all this, like, that's game over. It doesn't matter if Jesus were to come down and all this. If you can't fix your own head, which is what you inhabit, it's game. With that being said, there's that 5D New Earth thing. Now, after all this, that new Earth thing, gotta love it, man. But I mean, that's kind of what we're moving towards. Because my big thing is I believe in reincarnation. I do believe in reviews, soul reviews. That when you die, you have to kind of review your life, because you're gonna come back here if you didn't feel like you fulfilled your purpose. That's our one thing here, is desire, attachment, and I swear to God, no one dies happy. So you're gonna be making a trip back here until you finish that purpose. Now,
Which is the ultimate school,
literally. if you leave unfulfilled, you're gonna have to realize all your mishaps, all your mistakes. You're going to be born into a family that survives all of this, which is going to be more healthy-minded people. It's going to be an environment that's going to really give you that nourishment to flourish and be a happy soul, a happy mind. And that's why I think it's okay that the people that are passing away, because, sometimes they're the ones that were the most scared. And you can't spread that disease. It's just dis-ease in the head. With that being said,
I said too.
No, you're good.
Not like I don't mean it to sound harsh, but I've said for a while, I feel like once the generation that is in their 70s and 80s or so, 90s right now, like dies off, the world will kind of seem like it'll
balance, and not even in a bad way. It's not, but they're gonna come back.
Well, yeah, exactly, right. Exactly. But and every generation has its pros and its cons with it, but I feel like typically with that, there's a lot of just old programming and everything. And I mean, the kids that are in their 20s and everything, when we're like 70, 80, might say the same thing. Who knows? But I don't know. Muhammad Ali even said a man who sees the world the same at 50 as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life. So hopefully our minds are continuing to evolve and ascend into higher realms of being and higher states of thought processes and everything, and just continuing to fill up with love and pour our cup to where it's overflowing, and we can pass it out to others. You can't pour from an empty cup. So the more you're filling yourself and enriching yourself in hobbies and activities that you love, the more you're going to be filled with that energy that is love, and you give it back out to the world that is around you.
Exactly. And imagine that new Earth with all the people that didn't budge with all this, that kept doing the things they love. They're gonna come out of this with like a newfound courage of like, no, the world literally shut down. I did what made me happy, and I'm even better than when it started. You cannot tell me that all this like fear-based stuff is real. And I would hope with that, gratitude too. Yeah. Because it's so easy when we're on the what's the word? Not like rat race, but maybe the auto programming of everyday life, to take certain things for granted. I mean, one of the simplest ones I know for me is my gym. I work at a gym, and the same place I train at, and to have that shut down is, I mean, for lack of better words, it's been shitty. But something like that I try to remind myself to say my thank yous for, that not only do I have a job, but I have a place that allows me to improve myself, obviously physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually as well. I've gained so much outside of the physical from training myself. I've been training for like 7 years now. I started when I was 18 or so, and have been consistent ever since then. But even on that side of it, though, being at home, it's made me get more creative. Like, what plyometric stuff can I do? It's forced my ass to go out and keep running. Running sucks, but I'm a boxer. I got to run, too. So working myself up in distance there. That's cool. Jumps, explosive stuff. Again, reading, trying to get more knowledgeable on the stuff that I care about, which is, training and stuff like that, too. And the spiritual side of things. Taking time. I need to still crack into Autobiography of a Yogi. Love it. But you sound like a kid, though, with how creative you're being with everything. Dude, I started drawing again. And I haven't drawn in years, and I don't consider myself an artist by any means, but to sit back and just like sketch is fun. It's a form of expression. I wrote a couple poems, which is like, that's beautiful. That's awesome. I know it sounds like soft to say, but that's, I don't know, on the masculine side of things. For me, it's another form of expression. So if you could think of a way to get your heart out into things, like, I don't know, I really enjoy that. That's why I like journaling in the morning too. I like seeing my handwriting with, like, I took what's up here and was able to physically put it out into something too, put it on a paper. But
Yeah.
That's beautiful. But I like that, though, that you're saying that you're getting creative with all your stuff. Like, I think that's human nature. Like, at its finest, we're creative, we're builders. Everything, the majority of things that you look around when you go into any city, not majority, everything was made by a human. That was thought up and put out here. And even when it comes to workouts, just even getting creative with your own body, that's your fundamental tool. And, like, to be put in a corner where you have to start being creative to entertain yourself, like, that's childlike nature at its purest. And the more people that are in that energy, just working together and being around each other, dude, it's like a group of smart kids. A group of smart kids with a bunch of money.
Work on their science project.
Yeah, actually.
Well, and I think it was Tesla who said something, I don't know the exact quote, but something along the lines of, like, isolation is the key to invention, or key to ideas, something like that. And I mean, when's the last time maybe for us a little different, but like people in general, when's the last time we sat in solitude, to sit there and
to not think about work, to not think about obligations, anything.
To just be.
Whoa! Oh, turkey.
But I don't know. I think that's the value of meditation too. We're hearing something, tasting something, looking at something, touching, whatever, and then meditation we go and we shut off as much of that as possible. And especially, I mean, man, we got springtime coming. It's a beautiful day out. Springtime in Oregon, I love it. It's
I'm
my
sweaty.
I'm getting warm sitting here. I had a tank top on. I'm still toasty, but it's a beautiful time for this all to happen. It would definitely suck ass if this was going down in like December or something.
Oh man!
But the other day, like, no work, everything shut down. What did I do when it was 70 out? Went on a bike ride and sat by the river, laid in the sun, and just thought about life and my existence for like 6 hours.
Whoa! That's called vacation.
That's vacation. That's a staycation.
Staycation, honestly. No, seriously, life can be a vacation. I really don't understand why you have to go across the world to have a vacation. Like,
but there's cool shit to see.
There is really cool stuff. There is really cool stuff. But like, when I used to get sad, I used to just run out to the woods, and that was my vacation. Like, if you ever go out into nature is like harmonious chaos. You ever see like a garden, right? Even out here, I'd go as far to say that the most trees are organized in a way. And if you were to let most of man-made nature be for a month, it would die. You go out into the forest and woods, it's crazy, it's everywhere. But that's a living ecosystem that I can't even like fathom the patterns and how it works so well. But it just does. And that's vacation, man. To just be out there with everything. Because you're the same. How the heck do we all work? Like, my saliva is alive.
Dude, we are divine.
Whoa. How did we start with COVID and get to that?
Long series of events. That shit, I love quotes. There's another quote too that said, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." And I think we forget too, we're a part of nature. We're not separate of it, Feet down on the earth, and for us at least, head in the clouds.
Yeah, literally.
But,
it's pretty up there.
We're physical things. We're creatures. We're animals. That's a part of this. That's just as much as a lion or a dolphin or any other shit is. We're still animals, and this is kind of, I think in another way, this is forcing us to remember and realize that too.